Hey guys, it's CL, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, as well as hit the Bertrand bell to be notified of future videos. I recap Campaign 3 of Critical Role weekly here on Saturdays at noon, and would be happy to have you along for the ride. Now, let's get to what you guys are really here for. Critical Role's The Legend of Vox Machina. This video will include major spoilers for the entire series, as well as spoilers for the first campaign of Critical Role. I did a first impressions video last month before the series came out, based on the first 2 episodes. I went back to rewatch it to see if my opinions changed at all now that the Briarwood arc is complete. I will say, it was beautifully executed. The animation style, the fight sequences, and their ability to stay loyal to the source material, even though they're paring down a 4-hour show into a 20-minute cartoon, is really well done. I loved what they did with the main characters, and watching the blooms of their arcs and how their relationships with each other will begin to weave is super exciting to see all over again. It's even really cool that we're seeing one of the most beloved storylines sandwiched in between 2 dragon attacks. How sick is that? I will say, my main criticism from last time still stands. I think the series would have been better fit in a 40-minute episode format, preventing certain aspects that were slow burns at the table from feeling rushed. While everything is still really well written and funny, there are some things that I felt were a bit convoluted. I think one of those was Pike's journey back to the Everlight and just how it all played out. I don't feel like I really got the payoff I wanted from it. I do like that they actually brought Pike in though. I was curious to see how the show would handle Ashley's in and out because of Blind Spot, and I really enjoyed what they did with her character. It made a lot of sense instead of just retconning it like she had been with them the whole time. One of the most gratifying points of the show was when Pike finally appeared in her astral projection form and began to holy the shit out of Delilah's undead army and bewitching all of the weapons in the town into holy weapons. It was a scene from the original series I was really hoping would be transposed into animation. It's one of her true moments to shine throughout the series. It was incredibly cool to see a character who I think is often overlooked go head-to-head against Delilah Briarwood and do well while protecting Scanlan at the same time. Another sort of vindication point I have is with Keyleth. I feel like a lot of the fandom in the early days shat on Marisha specifically for the kind of character she played, and how she gelled morally with the rest of Vox Machina. I hope fans who have disliked the character will see in animation how Keyleth actually is. There's sense behind the chaos and the decisions that Marisha made. She's unsure of herself. She has a lot to prove, and I think with that sick sunbeam spell that killed Silas, more people will begin to appreciate her as we watch our druid grow into the leader she eventually becomes. Not everyone's perfect when they're first introduced. Character growth is entirely important, especially for a druid when plants are your whole thing. The romance of it all is done really well. I feel like at the table, what Vax was feeling was a lot more internalized, and you can only show so much of that while role-playing. So in the animation, we get to see a lot of the stolen moments and subtleties that not only show off their relationship, but also just the cool friendship between Keyleth and Vex too. I like how it's staying true to what actually happened. Vex wasn't used to her brother having his eye out to protect someone else, but in the end, she finally sees Keyleth for what she is, a hero. She was willing to sacrifice herself for all of Vox Machina, and I don't think Vex really realized that or understood it until she was on the ground dying in front of them. I really hope more people come around to Marisha's character because she plays them so well, and she goes above and beyond to stay true to them. Likeability and reputation be damned. There were points that I wish Percy's story had delved maybe a little deeper. I feel like this is his magnum opus, and I just wish there was more. I do think there's potential that we'll see a little bit more if we ever run into Ripley again during the whole Cabal's Ruin thing. I think the slow burn aspect I was talking about earlier holds true for him and his demon pact and all of his ghosts. And it also holds true for Vex, which I think they did really well. I like that we're seeing the beginnings here and had that iconic, "Darling, take off your mask" moment. But we still had all of the great and key moments with Cassandra and Ripley too. I think I just wish we had gotten a little bit more with like Silas and the actual Briarwoods. I feel like Delilah was really well utilized. But to be completely honest, at times I wish they had given Silas a bit more meat like he had on the original show. I do love that Craven Edge was introduced, and I look forward to seeing it in the hands of, in my opinion, the best character of the show, Grog. He really stole the scene. I find the retcon of Percy giving Craven Edge to him interesting. What do you guys think of that? Something I hope gets delved into some more in the future is the Pike and Scanlan romance thing. It was touched, I think, twice, and it was really blatantly obvious. And I guess subtlety isn't Scanlan's thing, but I just hope we get a little bit more emotion behind it. I don't know. I just think there's a lot more there that wasn't really covered, and I think at face value we're just supposed to expect that these two like each other. But I want to know why. I don't want to have to wait until we meet Kaylee to actually know how these two are feeling about each other behind the scenes. The Chroma Conclave flying towards Amon was the perfect cliffhanger for the season, and I can't wait to watch the actual battle to unfold. What do we think the actual storyline for Season 2 is going to be? The Chroma Conclave arc is incredibly long. I think it's like 60 episodes, maybe 50, something like that. And it encompasses finding the vestiges of Divergence, as well as hunting down the dragons who destroyed Amon. I think my best guess right now is it will end with Raishan. I think it will either be once they've defeated Umbrasyl and discover Raishan having been hiding in their midst in Whitestone as the cliffhanger, or maybe they'll end on defeating the Cinder King and watch Raishan disappear with his body. I think they've got a lot of good stuff to play with, and I just need to know if we're going to get another 12-episode season, or like a 22-episode season like most TV shows are. I just want to know so I can hypothesize. Are there going to be some of our favorite guest stars introduced? Although Zara, played by Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, is one of my favorite characters from Campaign 1, she's not exactly integral to the plot like Kashaw was. But I can't see them without the other. Would they just have Pike step in to resurrect Vex after she's killed, and the Raven Queen will hear them out that way? Maybe death won't be as common as it was in the actual campaign, so the Raven Queen will take great interest in resurrection besides Vax being fate-touched. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I just hope we see some key characters like Victor, because, I mean, I don't want Critical Role if there's no Victor. Overall, I think The Legend of Vox Machina is really great. It shows a lot of promise, and I'm still sort of stunned at all they rammed into the 20 minutes. Amazon, please give us more time. If you haven't already, you can watch all 12 episodes of The Legend of Vox Machina now on Amazon Prime. I couldn't recommend it enough, and please support them so we can potentially see some future D&D adaptions. Please go ahead and like the video and comment below on what you think is in store for us during Season 2, as well as your final thoughts so far on this season. If you're interested in my other projects, I review pilot episodes of TV shows on a pilot podcast with my friends Franny and Logan. Logan and I also are playing a Pokemon Diamond Nuzlocke on our Let's Play channel, Team Hyperfang. Finally, I have an album out now called Scorpio. You can listen to it on Apple Music and Spotify or wherever music tickles your ears. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Good day, my friends.